go, Shrek! Come on, give me a kiss.
People love my blowjob face.
It's a dictionary of dicks. What's wrong with this?
And mostly when I play, I'm like, I'm blowing shit up.
We have a self-jerking machine.
That's hot.
Aw, Mario, stop touching me. I'm your brother Luigi.
Pre-recorded live from across these great United States. Sometimes like to play with other things, but let's play with ourselves. Sorry if I bumped the mic taking that off.
You're like, sorry if I bumped the mic taking that off. I just imagine a dick bumping into a mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sometimes I do take my dick off. That does happen.
Oh shit, I meant to take my pants off, not my whole lower body. Alright.
A little help as there's blood everywhere.
It'd be great. You're like, damn it, not again. You go to the closet and you open it and you pull out the mop and you start mopping up.
I thought you meant I was going to pull out another pair of like lower extremities, like legs and stuff.
Like after you're done mopping, you do that and you're just like, shit, I have no time to sew this on.
Life's tough.
It is when you don't have a dick or lower body. Hey folks, welcome to Let's Play With Ourselves. This is podcast episode 12. Two sixies together makes a 12sies. That was probably the most dumbest thing I've ever said. But I'm here. I know it's horrible. You wish I died in a car accident. But Paul's here. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
So guess what? Podcast episode 12. We have big plans for you. We have fantastic things, fireworks, and another joke.
Yay, I love jokes.
This one's this is a popsicle on. It's orange flavored, I think, so.
Eventually you're going to have a popsicle you pull out that tells a terribly, like, racist or, like, a Holocaust joke, and we'll be like, never again. It just ended its popsicle career.
Are you serious? If I found that, I'd find so many boxes of popsicles.
You'd be like, you can't believe how offensive this popsicle is.
I love it. No, this one tastes good. I'm almost regretful of putting it in the water. You know, how's your day going? What's new with you?
Well, this week I've been working on the first video for The Sims. Like, last podcast I mentioned I'm going to LP The Sims 2. Mm-hmm. And the first episode is taking forever to put together because I had, I think, over 80 people that want to be in the game, and most of them are going to make it as neighbors. So that means I have to make the first video is going to be about 70 to 80 clips. I have to make the characters and then edit them together so it's watchable, hopefully.
Watchable, not like, don't want to give her eyeliner.
Yes, I don't want the first episode to be like 24 hours long as I make each character.
Am I going to be in the house?
I don't know if you're going to be in the main house or not, but you're definitely...
Fuck you, Paul! Fuck you.
I haven't picked who's all in the main house
yet.
Why
are we friends? Because I love you, that's why.
I'm probably going to pick after the podcast, actually, who's in the main house or not. I have a couple people on the short list, so...
Oh, maybe we should do a drawing.
That's what I did last year, is I narrowed it down to, like, the people that I thought would work, and then I basically rolled dice, and that's how most of the people who got into the main house got into the main house.
Did you roll, like, D&D dice, so you had, like, a
Actually, I did, because I'm such
serious?
a nerd. Yeah, because I've got, like, 20-sided and, like, 12-sided and 8-sided and all that, so...
It's like, let's raise the stakes here.
Make a saving throw! Oh, you ended up in the house, because you failed it.
Oh, fuck.
And then, other than that, I've been messing around with my guitar. I recorded some new instrumentals, which... Nobody's going to notice, but next year when I do baseball, it'll probably be in the background.
Oh, you're going to add them in there? Cool. I like your instrumentals.
Well, thank you. What have you been up to?
Well, I have been just chilling out, loving life, got paid, went to the bank, immediately lost all that money because I had to spend it on, like, personal items. Also, I started recording Outlast, and let me tell you, oh my god, It's been a while, like, playing Super Mario Galaxy, of course, I'm, like, so free-spirited. I love that game. It's just all this fun. But, you know, I've played it before, so it's kind of like, I'm enjoying it, but I played it before, so it's kind of a re-enjoying something, you know? With Outlast, I am having so much fun, and it's technically blind. I watched someone play it about a year ago, but I'm having so much fun. Like, when the first episode comes out, I wrote on my Facebook that everyone's gonna think I'm perverted and heartless, because they really will. They will. We're talking girly giggles. We're talking guys who are so mangled, and I'm calling them cuties and kissing them because it's a first-person game. There's naked men. Hallelujah! They don't have a lot of games with naked men in them, so, you know, that's cool. There's also kind of a... oh god, I don't want to give too much away, even though everyone who is on the internet probably seen it, but there are two characters who are just butt naked. They are butt naked, and I really want to show everything on the camera, but I'm afraid of YouTube, and there's a lot of big puns.
I do have to warn you that with some nudity, you can get, if somebody flags you, what's called a community guideline strike. Mm-hmm. And if you get enough of those, YouTube will shut down your channel. Because I had somebody flag one of my videos that I had censored even with that, and then I had to file a claim on that, a counterclaim, which is different than the copyright. Censor it. Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck? I censored all the good parts. I'd rather censor none of them. I'd rather be able to show it all, but I get your... You know how it is. I
know, Chrissy's like, purist, like, oh my god, it's the internet, so we must make it as safe as possible. It's like, whatever. No, but, yeah, I'm keeping the video files around where there is... I wanted to zoom in on the dicks, but I didn't.
So your LP was just gonna be a bunch of dicks?
Well, like, that's the thing, is that these guys are evil, and they're talking about how they're gonna do bad things to you, and they're some H-up. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. I love your face. You're like,
When I recorded Kokoro no Doki Doki Senpai, I edited a version that was censored, and I put that one online, but then I kept a version for myself. Not that I'll ever watch it, that was uncensored, because I was like, I don't like censoring. This is gonna be uncensored, even if I don't upload it.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, when you're a kid and your mom's like, don't do this, and you're like, fine, but I won't be happy about it. I'll just think about something else. That's how I feel with YouTube. I kind of...
Can I tell the yaoi story? The other day I was on... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I want to read the joke, and then you can tell the yaoi story.
Okay.
This is so fucking stupid. Okay. Okay. What kind of flower doesn't sleep at night?
Nightshade?
No, it doesn't sleep at night.
Oh, I don't know. What kind?
That actually makes sense, right? Because nightshade would assume that it was, like, up at night. The daisy! Listen. Snap.
You murdered that joke. For some reason, at first I was thinking of Daisy the game. Nightshade is also one of the few kind of adult-themed Nintendo games from back in the day.
Ooh. Nightshade? Nightshade? Is that an adult-themed... video game?
Adult
is it really?
Not as that there's nudity, but there's like
there's battery.
It has more like graphic violence in it. You know, it's Nintendo graphics, so it's not like you're really like, oh my god.
It's pretty funny though, like that when that guy's hitting the old woman. There's like a very fluid animation of this dude like beating an old woman, and it's just like one full animation like GIF. And it's pretty funny. You know what? I love it when Paul says something. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I am amazed how often I can mention a game, and Gamerpixie will know it.
And you know, I would know more. I just wanted to get this out there, especially for me, because I can be such a dick to myself about this. Like, I'm like, oh, why don't I remember stuff? I looked up. I'm on certain medications right now, and I did the research on the medications, and apparently they do cause like an amnesia, like a 5-second amnesia. So. Suckers, if I don't remember things, I can conveniently pull the, I'm a drugs card. What was your name? Sorry, yaoi story. Is this the one about, there's a lot of yaoi stories.
I was on YouTube the other day, and everyone who watches my channel knows I like Let's Plays, and some of them are dating sims, and some of them are sexual, and I stumbled across some like dating sims that are yaoi games, and if you don't know what yaoi is, it's like dudes doing dudes in like Japanese
it's man
anime.
On man or man on boy because they have different consent there.
And I've done some Let's Plays with Gamerpixie when we did Romance Detective, and she was really funny as that. And when I saw these yaoi ones, I was like, Gamerpixie would be hilarious doing the different characters in the yaoi thing. And so I was like, I'm gonna go find the link, and we're gonna go find the game, and maybe she'll do it. I know it's a long shot. And then I went and found the games, and they're all in Japanese, and I was so disappointed. And then, so I sent Gamerpixie the creepiest link where I'm like, here's a link of a video of yaoi of guys doing each other, and it's in Japanese. Porn. But I thought it would have been good as an LP, and I'm sorry it's not.
Hey, I was happy. Like, I was like, oh yeah. And then I came up with an idea that I will not ever execute, but I was like, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I was talented enough to make up the story and the dialogue as I went along?
I thought that was a great idea. In fact, I should steal that idea, because then I can do any foreign language game I want, and then people are going to watch and be so pissed that I changed the things.
They probably will. Well, and the thing, too, is if you do get, like, kind of a sexual one, too, it'll be pretty funny, because if you don't know who's who, and, like, you just start talking, giving people titles and stuff, that's what, I'm kind of afraid of the yaoi, because I want to have, like, you know, a dad talking to his son, and then if they start fucking, then they probably aren't the dad and the son, but that would be pretty funny, like, as a mistake, but, you know.
I've been playing Crusader Kings 2 this past week, and in it you can have incestuous relationships, and I ended up having my character take his aunt as a concubine, so sometimes it can get weird and awkward and funny.
Auntie. She babysits in concubines.
Well, that's kind of what happened is, when you're a little kid in the game, you can have someone be your mentor. And so he's the little kid, and I picked her to be his mentor, because she had really good stats, and she was supposed to be chaste. And somehow, growing up, he learned from her, or maybe it was in spite of her, to be lustful. And I was like, what? Your aunt taught you to be lustful? And maybe he just rejected her chaste teachings, and then later on I was like, I'm playing the character, his aunt taught him to be lustful, so maybe he's gonna get with his aunt, and I was like, that's kind of creepy, and then they had a kid maybe together or not, I'm not sure, and then at that point I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
It's like Aunt Lusty.
Ooh, I like that, Aunt Lusty. If I was a woman, that'd be my whore name.
Aunt Lusty. Come on over here and get some sugar to Aunt Lusty. Touch me every lusty way.
I imagine she's a big woman with big needs.
They're like, a big woman with big knees. And I was like, oh, give me some of those women with big knees. I got big knees. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, better put some pants on. Oh, God. Yeah, so.
I do that when I Let's Play most of the time, too. And, like, even in the podcast right now, I'm wearing pants. It doesn't matter. People are like, yeah, you can do it in your boxers. Normally I'm like, no, I gotta put clothes on.
Dude, that was weird, because, like, that you mentioned that, because today, it was so hot in my room, and I was like, I really want to record Outlast, because Outlast is the kind of the game, it's not really scary, but it does get your, well, you and I, I'm an anxious person, so it gets me all, like, so, I'm like, I have to stay with it consistently or else I'll put it off and then that horrible procrastination begins and it's all scary and, you know, whatever. But today I was like, oh God, it's so hot in my room, but I really want to record just 20 minutes. So I just sat here and like, just underwear, leaned over the computer like some sort of, I don't know, I don't want to be too vain, but if people were like, oh my God, Gamerpixie in her underwear hanging over the freaking keyboard. It's not a beautiful sight. It's just, it's like the, you know when people illustrate, like, really geeky gamer people sit in their underwear and play games? That's how I felt it probably looked.
I guess that's one of the advantages when you don't use a camera, too, that you can get away with that.
Yeah. Well, have you ever recorded anything in your boxers and that's it?
I have once or twice. I actually did last night, despite my story, because it's been so hot here the last couple of days.
Yeah.
It was like, and it's like you said, it wasn't like the sexy kind, it's just like I'm sitting here and I'm sweating. Yeah. Like, I don't want to have a fan on, because you don't want the mic to pick that up, and I don't want other noise. And you're just like, oh, I'm dying here. And when I get hot, I get grumpy. And then like when the game doesn't go well, then I want to start screaming and yelling, just like, fuck this shit. Fuck this stupid fucking game. Why am I playing this? In fact, I recorded that last night and deleted it. I was like, I'm going back to the save point because nobody needs to hear me lose it.
You could have put in like little white text. I was sweaty at the bottom. Like you're like screaming and stuff. I get really giggly and girly. Like when I sweat, I'm like ew, ha, ha, ha. And then playing Outlast has made me very giggly and girly. Surprisingly, I go Valley Girl when I play Outlast. So I'm not sure how people are gonna take that, but.
When do those start coming out?
I don't know. I'll either maybe release them next week. What is our... Yeah, maybe next week. I'm not sure. I wanted to head for like near the end of August. I'm trying to be cool and finish the entire game before I actually upload a single video. I do have the first part uploaded, but I haven't released it yet. So, and it looks pretty nice too. I'm using OBS to record it, and it's working really well. Like I think there's some frame rate droppage in a little bit of parts, or some parts, but it's not that noticeable in the recordings. Like, if you just mess with the encoding and all that, like, it looks good. So, thumbs up for OBS. It's a free program. Go check it out. It works pretty well. There's some workarounds. Someone is fucking vacuuming! Sorry. OBS works, though. Come on, go out and shake down Aunt Lusty for some money. Go buy your. You don't have to buy it.
Some, but you gotta reach in my pocket and get it.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, it's a lifesaver stuck to $1. All right.
I need that lifesaver.
Okay, here you go.
That's my dinner.
I'm on a diet.
All right.
Oh,
Where were we?
Well, we were at the point of our lives.
No
where we
return? Oh, damn it.
Well, technically, there's no return because minutes don't go back, do they?
Not unless you have a time machine. Put me to the time machine.
Da, da, da,
this past week,
last
week I was recording on Twitch.
Sorry.
And there's this game called Dev Tycoon in which you can make your own games in it. You basically come up with the titles and what kind of game it is. You don't.
That's what I watched, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the nights prior to when you were there, I made a Back to the Future game.
How did that go?
I didn't sell well. It didn't do well at all.
Oh, what engine did you put on it? Did you make good AIs? What did you do?
I think our engine was a little behind because I spent so much time trying to research, because you have to research tech to try and research sports, that by the time I finally unlocked sports, it was like one of the last things I unlocked.
So less developed, I guess?
Yeah, we were so far behind every other company, so...
Oh, speaking of engines, it's actually kind of funny. This has nothing to do with cars, by the way. I bet everyone was like, oh, does Gamerpixie know about cars? No, I don't. They go vroom, and they have wheels. And sometimes you have to, like, put liquid in them, and sometimes the liquid is wrong, and then they explode. So the game company that I really like, Her Interactive and Nancy Drew, they put out this letter. They're like, oh, we listened to your words. I guess they did a survey, which I was not a part of, which is kind of sad.
That's what I love about you, but like a survey from a small company, you're like, I wish I'd been a part of that.
I do! Well, like, I don't know, I just feel like my word matters, okay? I've bought every single one of your fucking games, and I was a fan I played your games since I was 9 years old. I feel like I deserve premium influence in your company. But anyway, to make a long story short, they were like, oh, we heard what you were saying, blah, 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 you want better graphics, longer gameplay, and more, I don't know, something to do with interactive, I don't remember what it was, but they were like, oh, so we're switching our engine to this, and then I wikied it, and it was like, oh my god, because I was excited, I was like, they're changing their engine, that is so cool, because usually when you do that, you move up, or do you move to a new one? They moved to one that's like, oh yeah, we made that Family Guy game and this, and I'm like, oh god. So
you're saying it's not the newest Unreal engine?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, not that I want them to have Unreal, even though it's pretty nice, but I just, like, seriously? I don't know what they had before, but I just looked, and all the titles, I had no idea what the fuck these games were. There's just a long title, and it'd be like something like, I don't know, like Buildings of Time, which was like a drag and drop building thing. I don't even know. So that was I'm a little worried about that. You know, there's all this stuff like the drought over on the west side of the United States, all that, but you know, the fires and stuff, my job, but I'm worried about the video game. So, yeah, you know, take for granted, you know, that's first I was gonna say, what is that, a rich person problem? I don't know. I'm not rich. Okay, anyway. What I was gonna say is, hear that? Do you hear that, Paul?
Yes, I do.
You hear that slishel sloshel?
Yes.
Well, okay.
You're not saving your urine like Howard Hughes did, are you?
No.
Did I ruin the surprise? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the surprise.
No. I didn't save it, but that sounds like a good idea now. You never know when you're gonna need your own urine. No, but I posted on my Facebook a picture of a drink. And that drink is the Shaq Fu Punch. I got it here with me. Paul knows what it is. If he wants later, I don't know if you want to do this later, you could take the photo from that from the Facebook, from my Facebook, god damn it, and you can just quickly splice it in here for people to see, or you can link them to my Facebook. I don't care. I'd rather you do the former one. But it's grape flavored, so it's the one we hate.
Does Shaq make them himself? I never knew there were Shaq drinks until I started looking at Gamerpixie's Facebook profile, and then be like, here's another Shaq beverage. I'm like, I didn't even know he made drinks.
Well, I just started on this crazy adventure, when I mean started, I just lived my life, and my mom came home and was like, look what was on sale, sweetie, and then she gave me these drinks. The first one was like, God, it was like a, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sweating. Here, I'm gonna get all giggly.
I don't think anyone could hear you sweat. I don't think that was a problem.
Well, no, like, I say sorry I'm sweating because I had to, like, I have a towel that I'm sitting on so my butt doesn't stick to this wooden chair. You know how that
we're
is.
always the sexiest podcast you'll ever find.
We are, like, don't you love the sound of sweaty dermis ripping from, ooh, that sound ripping, slowly disadhesing to a nice shiny surface. Anyway, the first one was orange cream soda. It tasted so bland, but it was what's the word? Carbonated. So what? So should I try this on the podcast?
Yes.
I want to do this.
I like how you're like, it tasted horrible, but there was carbonation in it. I'm like, that's a really low threshold for anything.
Well, it was like, you've had cream soda before. It's like, bam, flavor. It's really creamy, like cream soda, you know? And when it's cold, it's absolutely wonderful. This is made, all these drinks thus far, the two ones I've had, they are made by Arizona, which is the iced tea company that I've actually talked about in earlier episodes. And the soda, it was weird because it was a soda, like it had the carbonation. It wasn't flat, but it was a weak flavor because they do the iced tea, you know? So I guess they can't, they wanted to stay with the feel, you know? They can't go all the way. They have to go halfway. But
so this is grape Shaq?
Yeah, this is all natural Shaq Fu punch.
Prepare for Shaq to grape you in the face.
I will totally consent to this. Okay, I'm opening it now. It also says vitamin C, and it has C, and then at the bottom it says for certified. That's pretty funny. You gotta. Also, I don't know if you want to look this up. I might look this up, but isn't Shaq Fu a game for the NES? Oh my god, this smells like apple juice. It smells like pee. It does. I swear to God. Oh god.
Where do you get your apple juice? Are you sure somebody's not giving you something and telling you it's apple juice?
Well, it was the second smell. Okay. First smell. Paul, you're such a judger. Alright. I wish you could smell it though. It smells weird. I don't know what it looks. Does it look?
I gotta be honest. The smells like pee really isn't selling me on the drink so far. Maybe your reaction when you taste it will be different.
I didn't. Well, I mean, as soon as it smelled like pee, I wanted to put the cap on and be like, "Oh yeah, I totally drank it." Yeah. I want to point out something. I know I'm prolonging this, but that's the fun of it. But I want to point out that this bottle, it's not the drink that's this purple or blue. It's the actual bottle is dyed like a deep blue color. It's very pretty. So after I drink this, I'll have a nice bottle. I'm also going to rip off the wrapper and then probably laminate it and throw it in my memento box. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's actually really good. That tastes really good.
So you would recommend Shaq Grape?
I would. What is in this? Hold on. This tastes like apple juice with a little bit of grape stuff in it. It tastes really good. I think, actually, Paul, I think you might like this with a little bit of ice in it.
I don't like
grape,
a lot
of ice. Yeah, I know, but it doesn't even taste like grape. That's what I mean. Unless it tastes like white grape juice, which is way different than the purple ones. So, I like how they call them white, but they're green.
It would be hilarious if you found out there were apples in the grape juice. They're like, we're lazy. We just put some grape flavor in with the apple juice. Good and good.
I'm looking right now. Oh, here we go. Okay, ingredients. Filtered. I'm going to drink this for the rest of the podcast, by the way. It tastes good. So much better than cream soda. Ingredients. Filtered water. High fructose corn syrup. Of course, it makes it taste nummy. Glucose, fructose, urose syrup. Grape juice from concentrated. Pear juice from concentrated. Apple puree. Yeah, I knew it had some apple in it. Lemon juice from concentrate, citric acid, natural flavors, fruit and vegetable juice.
Look at you.
This is good.
You're the pop connoisseur. You're like, it's got hints of apple and some grape.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. This is really good. The lemon actually, like, what's it called? It really brings out all the flavors. Surprisingly, I wish they put what kind of grape they did put in this. Because I don't think it's...
Are you going to be like a snob about it? What region was the grape from?
No, I'm just curious. I love researching things when I'm going to put them in my mouth. I'm telling you, that LS Let's Play, get me all crazy daisy. Up in here!
Since you were speaking of developers earlier with the guys who make the Nancy Drew games... There's this developer called Vagabond Dogs, and they made this game called Always Sometimes Monsters, which is a really cool game. They used RPG Maker, but it's a different kind of game in that it's there's a lot more gray area in the choices you can make, and it's a little more heavy on the drama thing, which is fun. And they're making a sequel called Sometimes Always Monsters.
Oh, I see what they did there.
And what they're doing, though, is they're asking people to send them their saved games from Always Sometimes Monsters so they can kind of see what decisions people made, because you can carry over your decisions from one game to the next. And so I loved Always Sometimes Monsters. I want to play the sequel, so as soon as I saw that, I sent them my saved game. The next day on Twitter, I saw them tweet a picture of the new game with my character in it from the previous one. And because my character's name was Dickweed, so they have like their character be like, the character's like, Dickweed, where are you? And I was like, that's so cool.
You're like, yay, fanning out.
And it's cool that when you make the developers smile with your dumb name enough that they tweet you. I was like, that's cool. I can't wait for the game to come out. No time.
Woo. Always sometimes monsters. What was the first one? Because I feel like I've watched you play that, but I can't remember.
Well, that was the first one. The first one's Always Sometimes Monsters.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, what's the story in that one?
Oh,
but without spoiling too much.
Well, in the story in the beginning, you're kind of like this poor guy in an apartment, and then you find out the woman who is the love of your life, and it can be different, because in the beginning of the game, you choose who you are, and you choose who your lover is. So you can pick a woman, and you can pick another woman, or a guy and another guy.
Is that the one in the party?
Yeah, you start off in a party. And,
okay, I have seen this one. Alright.
And basically, I'll just finish it for anyone who hadn't.
Go ahead, please do.
You're in your apartment, and you start off in the party with the girl you love, and you're an aspiring author, and you're going to write a big book. And then you flash forward later on where you're single, and you get an invitation from her to her wedding. And then it becomes your thing where you're like, I'm going to get to that wedding and break that up because I still love her. And along the way, you find out about yourself, and are you ever going to finish your book, all the promise you had that you haven't fulfilled, and it's really interesting. I love the game.
How many jackets you can remember go to which people? Is that the same game?
Yeah, that is, because there's a part where you can have different jobs, and one is you can be a coat checker at a nightclub.
And Paul did a freaking good job on that. Like, I got anxiety. I was chewing my fingernails while watching this, and he just went bam, bam, and he got it good. So, good job, man.
Well, the amazing thing about that game, too, is I got the good ending. And most people I've seen have gotten the bad endings, and I just happened to get the good ending. So
you're so finesse and beautiful.
I'm good at that in games. And visual novels, I'm really good at getting the good ending. Not so much in real life. But in games, I got it.
Come on. But your story is still being written. Da-da-ba-ba.
Can I punch the author in the face for it? There's some parts I'm not happy with.
You are the author.
I have to punch myself down.
Oh, don't self-harm, Broil. Sorry, but it made me think of another Let's Play you did, which I would recommend. It's kind of like off the subject, but I did... At first, when you said Always Sometimes Monsters, or I'm probably fucking that name up, but when you talked about that, I was thinking, what was it, like Alice and who? What game was that, where they were both in, like, the underground
It's like
prison?
Alice and Roger, or something like that?
Roger.
Richard and Alice.
Richard and Alice, yeah. That's a good one, too. Like, I recommend anyone who's into those, was it RPG Maker ish games. That was a good one.
Some people look down on them because anybody can get a game with RPG Maker. You buy used assets, and some people get elitist. But it's amazing how many people have been able to make really good stories with that tool that wouldn't be able to make games at all otherwise.
I think it's really nice that people are, they're making something that may not be as advanced, but it's still it's a outlet for people's creativity.
And sometimes the stories, I think, are stronger. Like Richard and Alice, you're kind of like you're in a frozen future where global cooling has happened, and the story's really well done. Same with Always Sometimes Monsters. Actual Sunlight is a game that's just about...
That's an intense game.
It is really intense. It's about depression and suicide, and you wouldn't see it if it weren't for RPG Maker, and it is one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had playing a game.
It's true. No, it's true. It's the Richard and Alice one. I remember watching it play and just being like, holy shit. But I really liked it. It was cool. There's actually a couple of games I want to play. I want to play Mad Father, Ib, and Witch's House or something. I don't know. They're all horror ones. They're not quite as impacting to the emotional part of your soul. But I think the creativity is really amazing on some of these games, so I really want to try them out.
I hope you do Mad Father. I watched this lady named In General do Let's Plays. We do Let's Plays. Our podcast is Let's Play with herself. The things with the videos and keys.
Where we both play together. Or with the camera.
She Let's Played that game, and I didn't see all of it, but it looked really cool. I think you would do a great job on that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, I want to play it just for shizzles, too, because I think the first person I watched that play that was PewDiePie, which I want to get out of the way. I don't know how I've come off, my point of view of PewDiePie, because everyone has an opinion, and I don't know if I was, super negative in the beginning, but I just want to say, guy's cool, and I don't hate him, and I don't really like his stuff either. So, neutral. That was on my mind since we last recorded the podcast. I was like, why do people think I feel about PewDiePie? Well, because I watched a video by him recently where he was talking about money, and I was like, wow. Because I used to love him, and I used to hate him, and all this stuff, and now I'm like, you know what, he's cool. He's just a guy, whatever. But, yeah, PewDiePie actually introduced me to a ton of games, so I looked at those, and I would like to snap them up right after I take a nice long swig of my Shrek Fu grape. This is actually really good. I think you would like it because it's not... We were both talking about artificial grape and just, a grape flavor in general. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have that, Paul. Let me drink some more. It is so good, though. Oh, yeah. Shaq's going all through my body now. I just had this fist in my mouth, down my throat, through the pipes, in the stomach.
So you're saying Shaq fisted you?
He did.
That sounds painful. He's a big man.
He is a big man. Sounds like this. I love Shaq. You sent me that link of Kazam. Oh my god. Kazam and Steel, except for Kazam is better. I love him. Well, Paul, wouldn't you say we about padded out the first part of the podcast?
Did you have another segment? Oh, yeah, questions? Cool.
No, I just got soda, that's it. Oh, no, soda. Shaq Fu, that's it.
Questions? Question the first. Eccentric in Texas asks, what game surprised you the most and how good it was compared to what you thought it would be like?
It's a very good question, my dear boy.
Did you eat him afterwards? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he's smothered in sauce, Texas style.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
cannibalism.
Oh, Hannibal, cannibal. Wannable. Fannibal. I'm a Fannibal, Hannibal the cannibal. Okay, anyway.
Rapcast.
I know, right? Oh, God.
Well, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Oh, you know what, honey? You go on first. I want to see you do your shit.
I want to be pretentious and be like, I don't want to name a big game, because you want to be like, hey, I want to pick something that was made by...
too. Sorry.
But, honestly, the game, especially most recently, that surprised me that was way better than I thought it would be was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Really?
Because Grand Theft Auto 4 was such a crappy disappointment that when 5 came out, I had lots of friends who were like, you should get it. My friend Lauren got it right away, and she showed me some on Skype and was get it. And it was like, no, I got burned by 4. I didn't even pay for 4. The person I was dating bought it for me, and it was that bad. I got
you pirated it?
What's that?
I was gonna be like, you pirated it and you didn't.
No. It was a gift from a friend, but like it was that bad. I got it free, and it was like, this game is horrible. So I was like, I'm not buying 5 until it comes way down in price. And I waited a year and a half after it came out, and then I got it, and I was like, wow, the driving is fun again. The story is interesting. The characters are. There's a lot of gameplay in it, and I would say that's probably the one that surprised me the most. Where after 4, I was so I had no hopes anymore for the franchise. I was like, crap.
Like, I'm done. Actually, I have a game on my list.
I was actually
to that.
That is exactly what I said. I was like, I don't think I'm going to buy another Grand Theft Auto game because 4 was so bad. And then eventually enough people said, "Come on!" And I waited till the price came down, and it was worth it.
I mean, it is. Like, I don't really like Grand Theft Autos. Like, my own, genre and taste. I don't really like them at all. I still don't play 5. 5 is the first Grand Theft Auto I ever bought in my entire life. Granted, it was for my brother, but I'm kind of weird. I don't like Grand Theft Auto so much that I don't really want to bring it into my home. But 5 was the one that I was like, this looks pretty cool. This one looks good. And, granted auto. Anyway. Yeah, but it turned out to be a pretty good game. I still haven't played it because I just, not my scene. But still, like, I can acknowledge that it's actually a very good game and it's well made. Like, hats off to you, whoever fucking makes that game. I don't know who makes Grand Theft Auto.
And I found it's been a blast. Rockstar does, and it's been a blast to stream because I've streamed it all on Twitch, and I've just had so much fun with it.
It is fun. And the characters are nice too. I mean, not nice as in like, oh, they pick flowers. They're actually fucking horrible people, but you like them. They're cool. So how many games do you have on your list? Just out of curiosity.
That was it. I assumed they said game, not games. So.
Oh, fuck.
If you have multiple ones, that's okay. What's on your list?
Okay, I'll try and go through them kind of quickly.
That's no rush.
Legend of Zelda Winwaker. That's the one with the shell shading, and you're on a boat and all that. You know what that one is, right?
Yeah. I've never played it, but I've seen it.
You have seen it, yeah. For those of you at home, the reason I was kind of certain inflection in my voice in sentences pausing is because Paul made this face like he was like, ooh, like thinking, and then I said certain keywords and then he went, oh yeah. So if you hear a little that's me talking to Paul. But yeah, a lot of people didn't think it was going to be good because of the art style. I really didn't care. I mean, I trust Nintendo. Well, not anymore. We'll get about that in a bit. But when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I really don't like the idea of not having a ferry or the whole ocean thing where you had to travel to different islands via talking ship. And yeah, it was like, I don't care, whatever, and just never really got into it. And then my brother brought it home from GameStop one day, and he just put it in the GameCube. And oh my god, that game is beautiful, the visuals are great, the gameplay is amazing, I love the enemies, I love the sounds, I love the quests, I love all the islands, and the way everything was just so wonderful, and the gameplay is great. It's a Legend of Zelda. They actually added new mechanics. There's kind of a stealth mechanic in the beginning, so that's something I underestimated way underestimated its quality. Another one would be Gears of War 2, because sequels are always like, I don't know if they're going to be good. By the way, I'm just going to deviate a little bit. I watched certain samples of gameplay for XCOM 2. Did you see those?
I have not seen those yet, no.
Okay, I want to say, like, bodies, the people, like, you know how you talk to people when you're in the base and stuff, and they're like, Commander, will you not shoot the aliens that are trying to attack you so we can research their shit? Sorry, I'm watching his Let's Play, and I just get dazzled every time. They're like, really, you want us not to defend ourselves? Okay, got it. But people look way more textured than that, like their skin.
Oh, I look forward... Now, I have to go... When the podcast is done, I have to go look that up then, because I cannot wait for the next XCOM.
Yeah, and what I was looking at, it looks really nice. But anyway, Gears of War 2, I thought, the first one was fun and whatever. It was a one-time thing. I don't really think 2 is going to be good because in the first one, the ending sort of left. It was hinting at a sequel. And I was like, whatever. There's no way you can really... It will just be rinse and repeat. And then Gears of War 2, amazingly enough, like, yeah, it is rinse and repeat, but it's not, like, the gameplay, in the sense of your objective, is the same. It's pretty much, okay, mow down enemies in an area, move forward, mow down more enemies in an area, move forward. But they did it really well, because the music and the, the visuals are so great. In Gears of War 2, wonderful music, just as good as in the first one. They added gameplay mechanics. Now you can pick people up. Now, when you're down, waiting for someone to heal you, you can actually crawl out of fire. You know, well, not out of fire, literally like burning your skin, but you can crawl away to take cover from oncoming fire. And they have characters. They flesh out the characters that you saw in the first one, and they add more characters. Really fun. And I'm going to narrow this down because I do have way too many.
That's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I did want to ask something, though. Like, Winwaker,
go ahead.
You got the ship, right?
Yes, baby.
If you put a bull on it, would it be bullship?
Bullship?
Sorry.
A bull?
Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
Watch.
You like, that joke was bullship. Sorry.
Well, it's like he's got a dragon face, but you can make it a bull. I don't know.
Please continue.
You know what? You know what makes me smile and giggle is like how much Paul enjoyed that show. Oh, you make Auntie Lust giggle and jiggle. All right. As I was saying, okay, so there's another game that probably no one has ever heard of, so I did pull up Wiki just to get a slight, not synopsis, but like maybe a couple sentences. Cryostasis. You can get it off of Steam, but Cryostasis, this is not very well known. I think it might be indie horror. Probably should have looked that up, but it is a horror game that, it's different. It's very different. It's about, let me see. It's about this guy, I don't want to go into too much, but in the beginning, there's this guy, going through the Arctic. Fucking goddamn it. I want to say sleigh dogs, but I'm like, yeah, he's on sleigh dogs, but you need to build a sentence around that. So he's slaying some dogs in Arctica, and he's just kind of going through, and he goes through a patch of ice that just cracks, and he falls through. And basically, he's fallen into a submerged and frozen over nuclear-powered icebreaker. And you get to explore this wonderful, it's the inside of a icebreaker, so that's pretty cool. And it's like the ship stuff, and it's frozen, and I love that sound of ice breaking off of things, so it's like heaven for me. But basically what you're doing in this game is you're exploring the ship, and I'm just waiting for you to make another ship joke, I'm sorry. I really am. But you explore the ship, and you find various bodies of men. And some of these guys, they have this kind of like glowing thing in their chest. It's kind of red. And what you can do is you go up to them and you put your hand on it. And basically what it does is it transports you back to the time that they were alive and you're inside them. So you're actually like playing as that person that you touched. And it takes you to the point in their lives when they fucked up on something and they died. Or they fucked up on something and it created a chain of events. So you have to play as them in a short amount of time and you have to fix whatever they fucked up. Or sometimes you have to fuck up where they fix something. And when I first saw this game, I thought it was going to be stupid. You know, like I thought, oh my god, like there's not even that much blood in this game. Just a little disclaimer, I was like 14 when I looked at this, so I was more like, oh yeah, the bloods, and blah, 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 instead of like, wow, compelling story, or like interesting gameplay. So I was just like, oh, this is gonna be stupid. There's not that much character interaction via dialogue, so I was just kind of like, oh, whatever. And it didn't work on my computer when I first tried to get it working, and I bought it, and I kind of got mad at the game for that and said it was stupid. But it turned out being amazing. I don't want to spoil too much because I'd love to do a let's play of it. But it turned out to be really cool. Like, I love it when games are just like, at the end they're like, and see, that's the story, that's what you were doing, and you're like, oh fuck. So, you know, you guys, if you can find someone that plays it or just a playthrough and pay attention, I swear, if you're geeky as me, you will love it. How long have I been talking?
It's all good. What else is on your list?
Oh, goddamn. Okay. I have 3 more. So, like Paul, with Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5, he was like, fuck, 4 was so awful. I'm not touching 5. With Nancy Drew, they had Tomb of the Lost Queen, which is mystery number 28. I think is it 26? It's 26, motherfuckers. I'm a bad fan. I'm looking back because I have it on my shelf.
I like it because I'm like Gamerpixie, and it's like, I gotta have the right number because otherwise it's gonna feel stupid, even if nobody else knows.
I would say, well, and that's the thing too, I bet, like, people listen to this, they probably don't even fucking, I'm sure, because we have, like, mostly adult males that listen to the show, so I'm assuming that they probably never played it. But, which is, you should really try out. I don't think anyone's gonna question your masculinity if you play as a teenage girl who solves puzzles that involves dressing dolls. Yeah. Okay. I'm sweating so bad. I really am. No, and the reason I say it is because sweat is, like, trickling down my body.
That sounds unpleasant, to say the least.
It really is. I smell bad. Alright, so, yeah, Mystery 26 was a bomb! I hated that game. I was like, fuck y'all. I'm not gonna give you any of my money. You portrayed me. Portrayed me. Yeah.
You're in the game? I didn't know you were in the game.
Yeah, well, then I might kill myself because that was a horrible game. But then they did it. I don't know how they did it. They made a horrible game, and I was like, okay, they're gonna go down this road of making shitty ass games. And then the next game, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And to add more to why I didn't think it was going to be that great is because it was very sciencey, and I love science, but the way they did it was like, oh, it's in the lab, and there's electrical stuff, and, like, cool, and I was like, okay, I've already done a million of puzzles on that, and some of their other games used elements like that in their puzzles, so I was kind of like, whatever. But Nancy Drew, it's called Nancy Drew the Deadly Device, by the fucking way, I probably should have said that earlier, but Deadly Device, awesome. Music, wonderful. I listen to the soundtrack still to this day, even though it came out like a while ago. Puzzles, hella fun. Characters are okay. You know, they could have been better. They're okay. You know, they fleshed them out a little bit. There's one cute guy, so I guess all is forgiven. And the main, because they always have this sort of like educational streak to them. Their games do. And the Deadly Device centers around, or the educational segments center around Nikola Tesla. And I adore that guy. I mean, I adore his history and his, like, pursuits and, like, his actual freaking achievements.
It's true. One time I was hanging out with Gamerpixie, and I mentioned, I think it was something about Tesla and Edison, and then the next 45 minutes was Gamerpixie teaching me things. It was fun about Tesla. I was like, oh, I didn't know that too. And she's like, and another thing people often get wrong.
Oh my god. Did I really do that?
Yeah, it was fun though. It was cool.
Was I like, oh, did you know that Tesla liked pigeons or something?
No, it's like when somebody knows a lot about a subject and they care a lot about it, and somebody quotes stuff that is commonly gotten wrong, and you're like, I'm going to show you how it is. I was like, okay,
like
I'll
that
listen.
wasp thing. Oh god. No, but yeah, Deadly Device. I adore, and that actually, Deadly Device taught me a lot of stuff I didn't know about Nikola Tesla. So that was really cool. Like, they did have that sort of frou-frou, like, everyone knows this about him. But they went into great detail about him, which was very cool. And in the game, I know it's a game, so it's not real, but you actually got to put together certain batteries, learn stuff about voltage, and then you actually got to interact with Tesla coil. But they were a part of different puzzles, so that was really fun. Like, you had to make sure you didn't explode something, or yeah, it was really fun. Okay, how long have I been talking? We should move to the next question.
Alright, the next question is by Kid Kingpen. If you guys had to be in one horror movie and spend a night there, what movie would it be?
Well, I've been talking too long, so tell me your answer, baby.
My answer would be The Shining.
Really?
Yeah, well, because there's lots of booze. there's a nice bartender. There's always a party kind of in the bar, and you get lots of alone time. And the truth is, I hadn't thought about this when I wrote it. Mm-hmm. If you're only spending one night, like, odds are you're not spending the night when everybody gets killed.
Well, what if you are, though?
Well, I'd still pick The Shining because, like, you get free booze.
Yeah, but there's a guy, like, breaking down a door and...
That would be me, though. I'd be the caretaker, so I'm the one doing that.
Here's Polly! Really?
The only thing I'd be worried about, well, getting murdered and stuck in the hotel is one thing.
Yeah.
But if you remember the scene of the Kubrick film where he stops and looks in and there's the guy giving the other guy a blowjob and he's wearing, like, what is it, a bear mask or I think a dog mask?
Yeah, like, it's a dog mask.
I don't want to walk into that. That would be awkward.
Well, at least you wouldn't die.
You know, somebody wrote a song about that, though. There's
about
the blowjob bear.
Oh.
Or the blowjob dog or whatever. Somebody decided to write a parody musical of The Shining, and like 2 weeks ago I found it. I was like, I didn't know. For some reason I was looking for that scene. Don't judge me. But,
no, I don't judge you if you saw my fucking web browser history, baby.
So The Shining, like they've got that awesome bar. You got a nice place to sit. There's TV.
There's TV. Yeah. There's also a guy running around.
You know how much food they had in that pantry too?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because they got the whole kitchen you open up and it's just full of food.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good. That's a good choice. Puts my choice, blows my choice out of the water, fool.
What was your choice?
My choice was When a Stranger Calls, the 2006 version, not the 1979 version. Because I just think it would be really fun to play cat and mouse with a person who's trying to get into the house and who eventually does. But unlike the girl who suffers from horror movie syndrome of, oh my god, what do I do? Instead of that, I would probably just pick up a knife or a freaking giant-ass baseball bat, and I'd be like, come at me, man, because I get all jittery when I play cat and mouse, so I think it would be really fun. Also, it's like one night. The whole thing is one night, so... And I just bash this guy's brains in, and I think it would be really fun. And the whole hectic, like... Oh, the call's coming from inside the house. I'll be like, shit! He's good at that. How'd he get in the house and use one of the phones? Also, how come he's on the phone and... Oh, she was probably on her cell phone. But in the 1979 version, how did she... Oh, whatever. But yeah, I'd like that. If anyone knows who that is, because the 2006 version is awful. I think the one in the 70s was also awful, but probably not as bad. Have you ever seen that?
I have not, no. You just got me thinking, though, like, if you're stuck in a horror film, you're probably best off, though this is the debate,
yourself.
This debate goes back to, like, the original Night of the Living Dead, probably just best off, if you have an attic, going up there in the attic and sitting on the door, if there's, like, a door you can sit on, and just waiting.
Oh, yeah! No, that's actually, that would
you know how hard it would be, especially if it's, like, the kind of attic door you have to push up? It's different if it's the one you kind of pull down, but if it's, like, the kind you have to push up, like, if you have someone on there who's, like, 150, 200 pounds, to reach up at a weird angle like that for a murderer to get up at you, it'd be almost impossible.
But it is a horror movie, so I mean, like, the mediums can be very, what would say, beneficial to your attacker. What if you just put a fucking spear up there and, like, shish kebabs you in the ass?
Well, it depends on what the door is. How are they going to know, though? Come on, when you go to a person's house...
It's a horror movie, they know!
Do you know where their attic is? Like, if you came to my house, are you going to know where the attic is?
Yes, it's in the roof of the house. I'll look up, and I'll be like, whoa, look, a square. I bet your Paul's sitting down there. Skewer! Well, I guess, no, I don't. I'm going to drink more of my Shaq Fu, baby. Yeah, so that was my answer, When a Stranger Calls, because I would... I don't know, I like it when people are like, hey, we're the children, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, but I'm in here, eh? you wanna get me? Because I'll fight you. I'm all flirty since I started playing Outlast. Go ahead.
That's flirty, that you want to hit someone in the head with a baseball bat?
Well, if they want to come in and do nasty things to me, sure.
I don't know if that's the definition of flirting.
Well, you know.
Alright, the next question, the final question. Master Ian asks... How did you two first get into making Let's Plays, and have you ever at any point felt like quitting for any reason? In fact, I think we should break that up into two pieces, don't you?
Yeah.
So the first question is, how did you first get into... I can't even break it up by reading it.
How did you first get into...
making Let's Plays?
Well... Actually, I'd like to hear Paul's on the. I've heard you say this before, but I would like you to refresh me as I freshen up with my Shaq Fu.
All right, my story's going to be a little long and wandering. It's a long and winding road. So a long time ago, I used to be an animator, and I worked like 60 hours a week. And you set up all the animation, and then you have it rendered. And sometimes it'll render for 4 hours or 8 hours or 16 hours. Mm-hmm. And at that point in time, I only had my PC. I didn't have a laptop. And sometimes I'd want to watch things online. But I didn't want to use my PC because you don't want to overload things and crash everything in the middle of an 8-hour render.
Yeah.
So one day I'm really bored because I can't get online and I'm rendering on a video. And I'm like, what's the second Zelda game? I'm like, I know there's a second Zelda game. I remember the original one. I remember Link to the Past. What the hell's the second one? I'm like, PS3's got a shitty browser. I'll get on there. And so I got on there on YouTube and I looked for the second one and I saw it. And, it's a Nintendo game. It's not a great Zelda one, but I remembered playing it from a long time ago. And the person who put it up...
It's a side-scroller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, just had to interject.
No, it is. It's different than a lot of the other Zeldas because of that. And so I found someone who put some videos up on YouTube. I didn't know what Let's Plays were at that time, and he was kind of funny. And then I was like, this is fun. I got more time. And then I thought, the Grim Fandango, that's a LucasArts game I always wanted to own. And so I went and found that on YouTube, and I watched somebody's entire playthrough of that. It was more like a long play than a Let's Play. But that got me looking for Let's Plays. And eventually I came across Jeff Major, and I subscribed to him. I love his videos. And through that, I found Gamerpixie's videos as well.
Sorry.
And so I subscribed to Jeff, and I still watch him to this day, and I still watch Gamerpixie to this day. And so at that point, I liked watching Let's Plays, but I didn't... I was watching your Kuon last night.
And then you're like, shut up. You know what's funny? He's like, I was watching your Kuon last night. Does that sound like a weird...
It does. It sounds
down strip thing. It does, right, though? Okay, go ahead.
And so at that point in time, I didn't want to Let's Play, but I had a lot of fun watching them. And then I started dating this girl from Canada. And so it wasn't very often I'd get to go see her in person. So we had a lot of Skype dates. We'd watch movies, do stuff. And one of the things she liked... yeah, that too. One of the things she liked were these really cheesy games. They were, how do I explain them? They're the kind of games where they have, like, hidden puzzles where you, like, have to find items.
Oh, you mean, like, hidden object games?
Yeah, like, they'll have those and they'll have, like, little stories along the way. Like, you LP'd one for,
Yes, Big Fish Game does a lot of them. They, like, crank them out, yeah.
And she loved those kind of games. And a lot of those aren't voiced, because they're kind of cheaper games. And so I did...
Unless the one I played was like, Santa Claus.
That was the creep one, was Santa Claus.
It was. Sorry, keep going.
And so my the lady I was dating then, she'd be like, do voices for this character and that character. And so I would just do funny, silly voices, and I'd read them, and I'd sometimes twist the words, and me and her would laugh and have a good time and rip on the game a little bit. And one day I just thought, I love watching Let's Plays. What we're doing is like a Let's Play. We should do Let's Plays. And I told her that, and she wasn't so into it, so I thought, when you really like someone, you want to do a project with them, the best way to do it is make it as easy as you can for them. So I thought, I'll do a Let's Play myself, and if I can figure it out, then I'll ask her to do some. So I went online, and I learned about Fraps for recording PC games, and then I picked a game, because I wanted a game that was short, The Political Machine 2008.
Oh, yeah.
And I recorded those, and then I rendered them out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to upload them to YouTube. And then I realized I had to make a channel. And back then, like, now you can have your channel name be whatever it wants, because it's like Facebook, where you really have a number, and then they put a name over it. Mm-hmm. But then you had to have a unique name. So I went through all this work to do the research.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And get Fraps, and then record and get ready to upload these. And then I spent half an hour to 45 minutes trying to make a name. And
I feel bad for you.
Oh, I was so pissed. And like,
it took me 5 minutes. I was like, yeah.
I didn't want numbers in my name, because I wanted them to be easier to remember. So I kept trying name after name, and I couldn't get anything to work because everybody had the names. And then I thought, I love Gamerpixie's videos. It's embarrassing saying this. I don't know if I've told you this part before. I probably have.
Okay.
And so I was like,
masturbate to my videos?
Sometimes, but you know.
Ah! Woo! To the Kuon one, right?
Mostly. When the people were burning. So I tried. It's all good.
Imagine oh yeah, you crisper. Sorry, we just went full crazy sexual craziness. Go ahead.
So I tried the name Gamer Paul, and somebody else had that. And after like half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm just pissed. I'm just like, Super Paul? Somebody had that, and I was like, and I tried Gamer Paul because of Gamerpixie. I was like, oh, that's kind of similar, I like games. And then I was like, what if I merge the two? SuperPaulGames, and it wasn't even a name I liked. It's just nobody had it.
It's a good game. Name, sorry.
It works out. It's easy to. I wanted a name that was easy to remember and nobody else had because, well, I couldn't do anything anybody else had back then, and it worked. I was like, fine, fuck it, I'll go with that name. I want to just upload to see if these work.
Well, it sounds really good. I must say, it's easy to remember. Also, it has pizzazz. It's like Super Paul Games.
I feel shy about it because I'm like, I'm not that super. It should be more like kind of average Paul Games, but whatever.
Oh, shut up.
So,
you are super, girlfriend.
Thank you. So that's how I got into games, and so watching Jeff Major, watching Gamerpixie's videos, and then like hanging out with my now ex-girlfriend, like all those things kind of came together and made me want to do Let's Plays. What about you?
Yeah. Ooh, do you say, what about you, boo?
No, it was you.
I'd be like, oh, you called me boo.
Oh, it was a ghost. Ooh.
Ooh, boo. Someone like, this is deviating, but it made me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. It's when I worked at Subway. There was this regular guy who would come in, and he was from Georgia, and he was pretty cute, and he just had a heavy Georgian accent. And he's just like, he'd walk in and he'd be like, "What's up, Buttercup?" And oh my god, my heart would melt. I was like, oh my god, he called me Buttercup. And then I would just be all jittery. And then I'd take his order. But anyway. God, he was hot. Anyway, so, getting into Let's Playing. Well, when I first, I've always had this, habit of talking while playing video games and making jokes. And kind of doing voices, like Paul said with his now ex. But I would do that with my family. Like, whoever was around, we would play something. I remember playing Metal Gear Solid, and I did the voice of Snake. I know he talks, but, like, during the stealth parts, I did the voice of Snake. My brother did the voice of one of the guards. I remember getting caught, and he was like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be in here." And I ran in a circle. I was like, oh my god, what did I do? And then, granted, it's not that funny. But it's just a habit, like I've always talked and played video games. And I've always wanted to share what I was going to say, while playing a game with other people. Because when I was growing up, my brothers also grew up. Oh, how does that happen? You figure they just stay the same age. But they went off to do their own little things. They did some service, did some time in the military. So I was kind of left alone. And I really missed that. I missed, not the co-commentary, but I missed that person sitting next to me on the couch and us both enjoying playing a game. I really missed it. Also, they were the only people I really felt I could be silly in front of, which is interesting because transitioning to internet, you think, but I'll get to that. So, in my early years of watching Let's Playing, technically I didn't even watch a Let's Play. It was by O.M. Garrett, who I love. O.M. Garrett, he had a playthrough of 7th Guest, and he did commentary on it. And I love, ever since I was a kid, and to this day, I love old FMV games, for DOS. I think they're hilarious because they're cheesy and all that stuff. But 7th Guest is FMV, one of the first, actually. So, he was playing it, and he was just goofy and silly, and he was getting through the puzzles, and he was having so much fun. Like, I don't know if he was actually having that much fun, but for me to watch him, it was just like, oh my god, someone's being goofy, and they're just enjoying themselves, and they're being leisurely, like, and watching him, I had so much fun. I felt like I was sitting on the couch, or probably on a chair, because he was playing on the computer, whatever. I was sitting with him while he was playing the game. That's how I felt. And I was like, oh my god, I really want to do this. And for a while, I sort of sat on my hands, like, oh, I can't do this. I'm an idiot. I don't have the resources. Or the number one thing was, I'm an idiot. No one's going to like you. And you can't be silly because you're just gonna come off as a fucking idiot. Like, no one's gonna like you, which now I know it doesn't really matter to me, but back then it was like, you're not fucking funny, you're an idiot. Just a little background, and I'm not gonna deviate too much, this is gonna be like a sentence, but when I first started Let's Playing, and maybe about halfway through my Let's Playing history, I was not diagnosed, but I suffered from depression really badly. So when you hear me talk about this sort of stuff, you can be like, well, what the hell? Like, you're really fixated on this. Well, it's like, back then when I was 13 or 14 years old, probably 14, 15, like I was so, and later on I'd get diagnosed and then get the help I needed, but back then it was like it was a dark tunnel. So one day I watched it again because I rewatch it all the time, and he was making Barbie playthroughs, and it's just fun to watch. And I thought, you know what? He's silly. It's okay. He's silly. He's having fun. You can do the same thing. And I was like, okay. So I bought all the stuff. I bought a Dazzle DV thingamabob, which I use to this day, which I need to fucking throw out because I'm being cheap. And it came with Pinnacle Studio 14 and all that fun stuff. And then I never actually told this story. I don't know if I actually told you this, Paul, but my first Let's Play wasn't Silent Hill 3. Technically, my first Let's Play was Clock Tower 3. I got 6 videos out of the Clock Tower series, and when I watched them at that time, I fucking hated them. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're fucking stupid. No one's gonna like this. You have an annoying voice, blah, 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 blah. And it's funny, because I remember watching them. I remember what they looked and sounded like how the video was when I watched it back then, and how I felt. And thinking about it now, like, I feel so bad that I didn't upload those, because they're actually really funny to me, in my opinion.
I never knew that before.
Yeah, no, I uploaded, like, I had 6 of them, the videos, and I uploaded, like, 3. And then I got stage fright, and I took them down, and I waited, like, another 2 months before I'd actually start uploading a Let's Play, and that would be Silent Hill 3. And, you know, I really have to thank some people for my really early, like, helping me get started, because with the depression, you start something and it is so easy for you to get fucking off track and for something to pull you away from your success, or even just moving forward, like, the littlest of things. Like, I think I did Silent Hill 3 and I got like 10 videos through, and I was like, oh my god, I need to stop. I'm an idiot. Other people have videos and they look so much better than mine. It took a really long time for me to learn that, you know, it doesn't matter if someone else has a ton better, like, way better quality than me. Do I want that? Yeah, I do. But right now I don't have that, and they have that. There's some people who are going to have worse quality. Some people are going to have better commentary. Some people are going to have worse commentary. It's me. You know, it's the individual. That's what I say. If anyone's starting Let's Playing, it's for fucking you. Okay? And not everyone's gonna like you, and not everyone's gonna hate you. And just accept that and be respectful about it. Because for the longest time, I did not get that. But then certain people started congregating, surprisingly. I don't know how that happened. But YouTube, not when I was younger, well, it's not that it was smaller, but Let's Playing was very... I think when I started Let's Playing, I was kind of in the middle of, like, before it hit its peak. You know, like, it started off, it kind of had this weird lukewarm... Sorry, I was thinking about pissing pants, but...
I can say, when I came to your channel, like, I had thought you Let's Playing had exploded, but Let's Playing hadn't exploded yet.
It didn't, yeah, and I didn't know that till, like, maybe actually a year ago, looking back, because I was like, oh my god, some of these videos... I think my Silent Hill videos, I'm going to look it up while I'm talking, sorry, you're going to hear some clicking, because I want to know how old they are, but... Yeah, basically, like, certain names, like, my name is not Lily, and a couple of other people were like, wow, this is funny stuff. I think my name's, if you look at my Silent Hill 3 Let's Play, you'll see, actually, like, quite a few comments from my name is not Lily, and I don't know if that was because he really liked Let's Play. I think he did, because he did comment on actual stuff that meant he had to have watched the video, but I also think he's a very kind soul, or at least he was, you know, like, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's a very kind soul, and he was, like, supporting me, and it was so nice, because I don't think I ever told him I had depression and that I needed that sort of help. So that's another tip, like, if you're watching a Let's Player that you kind of like, and you're just like, you know, whatever, they just started out, or even if they're, you know, this is like their 5th year straight of, like, making Let's Plays, always offer a kind word whenever you can, because that really helps people out, because you never know how they're dealing with stuff. If they're doing fine, then hey, you gave them a compliment and they feel good. If they're doing bad and they're thinking, holy shit, I need to stop, and you give them a compliment, that could save their hobby. So my name's not Lily really helped me out there. Also, I'm gonna
I definitely second that. I mean, I want to elaborate on that later on when we get to the second part of the question, but it definitely, if you like a Let's Player, let them know. If you don't, shut up, because enough other people will let them know.
Well, yeah, seriously. And I mean, like, you know, I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, you know what, I can deal with hate. I mean, I got hate back then, and I still dealt with it. That's the thing about depression. You're a lot stronger than you think you are. So if anyone's listening with depression right now, or any other little problem that's... It doesn't even have to be in your head, like with your brain and stuff. You're a lot stronger than you think you are. Also, I'd like to point out that my first Let's Play video is almost 6 years old. Isn't that crazy?
Look how long you've been doing it. I mean, like I said, when I
I took a break, but, you know.
When I first started watching you, I thought Let's Playing had already exploded, because it had gotten a little more popular.
It did.
But it would be, you know, a little bit after that when it would really start to totally explode and get like it is now.
Oh yeah, like every other, like the sort of like the street corner and there's.
Well, there was that time like after you started where every big YouTuber was like, okay, this is easy money. I'm going to start a gaming channel, and most of them quit eventually, but.
Which is cool. I mean, you can't blame them for trying. It's fun stuff, but yeah, that's my long story. It's still.
Did I interrupt any of it? I'm sorry if I did.
Oh no, you're fine. I liked your interjection, but what I was gonna say, I don't want to get all emotional and like hallelujah, but I do want to let people know, like, I've learned a lot from my experience, and there's a lot of like, because people, for some people, making Let's Plays is sitting down, enjoying themselves, and playing a game, and you know, uploading that and all this stuff, editing, and that is to me too. But I feel like, you know, for some people, Let's Playing is actually a very special outlet for, like, stress relief and just, in general, like, a somewhere they can escape and be happy. So I really wanted to reinforce that. This is not me being like, leave kind comments on my videos. No, but if you see someone that you like their videos and they're kind of on the, you know, not that they're doing bad or anything, like, you know, in their personal life, but, you know, they're not getting that many views or that much feedback or subscribers, just kind of support them then, you know, like give them a nice comment, shoot them a nice message, because if I didn't get that support, that little random like, oh, I love your video, like one comment from someone or a message, I don't think I would still be Let's Playing to this day. Granted, I did have way more personal problems, but I'm just applying this to a human being. Like, as human beings, we get discouraged. And even though Let's Playing is for ourselves, we still want to create a good content. Let's say that.
I think that perfectly leads into the second part of Master Ian's question. Have you at any point ever felt like quitting Let's Playing for any reason?
Oh, yes. Let's Playing me we have that abusive relationship. We're like, yeah, I'm done with you, whore. And they're like, I can't live without you. Come back. That's me. How about you, though, Paul?
Every once in a while I do because of YouTube's copyright system, but there have been 2 times where I almost quit. One was pretty early on, like I did my first ones where I did the Political Machine, and then I did the Oregon Trail, and then I decided, you know what would be fun is do an RPG. Let's do Neverwinter Nights 2. Oh, and I started Neverwinter Nights 2 with the best of intentions, and it turns out that game just, at least for me, did not work well. And it became, after a while, and I did a lot of videos with that game. It's a longer game than I realized. An RPG just didn't work as well as I thought with that, and it got to a point where it felt like work, and I literally basically quit making videos. I hadn't, like, officially quit, but I don't know if you've ever had points where you're like, I just don't want to. This is like work.
Oh, yeah. Remember, I've talked to you about that. I've texted you. I was like, Paul, I don't really feel like I'm doing anything now. Like, I'm making an impact. You're like, okay, well, Paul's really nice, because if you tell him stuff like that, he doesn't immediately jump in with optimism, because he knows you're probably feeling like shit, so you need a little stepping stools, you know, to get to that. But you were very nice, because you were like, oh, if that's how you feel, well, okay, but just kind of sleep on it or something, and just know that I really like your content, and other people do too, and you brighten up their day, because Paul's a sweetheart, and he does that.
Well, I do.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
I do like your videos. Well, and basically what happened is I basically quit making videos, and then what had happened is enough time had passed. When I did the Political Machine 2008, it was well after it had come out, And I was one of the only people that LP'd it when I put it up. I didn't realize that because I was new to Let's Play, and I was just like, it's a short game, I love it, I want to try it. And the Political Machine 2012 was about to come out, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I started getting questions from people I didn't know who had watched 2008. They're like, are you going to do 12? Are you going to do 12? And it was so weird to me, because when people don't comment, and even when they do, you don't realize how many people are watching your work. Even if you have a small channel. My channel's pretty small now, but it was really small back then. And when I got all these people asking, are you going to do this next game? I really want to see it. It just, I was like, okay. And I was super broke then because work wasn't going well. I had like $15 of room on my credit card, and the game was like $9. And I was like, I need food, but I really want to. Fuck it, I'll get the game. And I got the game, and I had a lot of blast. And that really kept me going for a while. And then I don't know what it was. Maybe a year and a half later, I was playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I was just having no fun with it. I was like, why am I not having fun with it? And the problem was I was just playing the missions. Later on, I realized the fun was, and I turned the music off because of YouTube copyright shit.
Yeah.
And I realized the fun thing in GTA is you turn the music on and you drive over people and you just dick around.
Yeah.
But before that, I was thinking about quitting, and then this really awesome viewer named Elite Gamer Girl, she started watching those videos, and she left funny, silly comments on most of them. And that's what, like Gamerpixie was saying earlier about comments can make a difference, is I started to look forward just to getting her comments, and then like other people started writing more too, just because it was like, if I put up a video, she'll write a comment, and I look forward to that. And then that kind of got me back on track and made me think, why do I want a game? Which made me realize, okay, I'm putting the music back on even if my channel gets shut down, and I'm going to spend a little bit of each of these games running over people dicking around, and then the fun came back for me.
Yeah, well, because you became less of a, okay, make video this length, do this, bam.
That's an easy trap to fall into accidentally.
It is. It totally is. I've actually fallen into that trap many of time. What?
Is there a dog fight outside your house?
I don't know.
Don't tell me the horror movie is really happening. I can't.
My window's closed.
Go to the attic now.
I can't. Well, we have a basement. That's it.
Oh.
Which is worse. No, I was wondering if someone's touching off a couple of dogs. No, I don't know.
Ew.
We'll have to.
The night molester's back again.
No, he's always here. Okay. But I wanted to make a comment about comments.
Please do.
But when you were talking about how, because I want to let people know if they're thinking about Let's Playing not to be discouraged, especially now, in this time. I don't want to say, like, oh, things were easier for us back then, but they were, because YouTube had a very different layout and requirements for having a channel and what you could do to comment, because when Paul said, it made me think of it, but when Paul said, you know, you don't know how many people are actually watching your videos, and then someone comments, you're like, oh, cool. Well, like, now, like, you really don't know. Their numbers are wrong. When it says views on your videos, their numbers are wrong. People have to get Google, which I heard they're in the process of enacting, which is nice, but people had to get Google to actually comment on videos. Like, when they changed a lot of stuff on YouTube, it sort of like, imagine you have this nice, you know, you got a colony of ants, and they're just doing their thing, and then you freaking pour some water on them, and they're like, ah, like running around. That's kind of happened with the YouTube community, because like everything broke down, like how people did things, because a lot of people didn't want to get Google or something. So I just wanted to comment on.
Well, another thing that's frustrating for new and people have been doing it a long time is a number of years ago they changed the algorithm. It used to be you go on the front page and you have all your subscriptions.
Yeah.
Now if you go on the front page and you go and they show you what to watch or whatever the hell it is, they will often not show you things you're subscribed to.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
YouTube's like Facebook where they have an algorithm and they try and pick for you unless you're on your subscription page. And even your subscription page can be broken and not show to stuff. So I've had it myself, and I've known a lot of people that they put out videos and they're like, nobody likes my videos anymore. And then often the viewers are like, why don't you make videos?
I can't see them.
Yeah, because they don't see the videos come up. I have that on my main channel all the time where people are like, do you still make cartoons? And I'm like, I made them for years, and when YouTube changed that, they often didn't come up in people's feeds.
Yeah, that's another thing. Thanks for mentioning that, because I actually forgot. That actually impacts a ton. Not only are people, it's not as easy to comment on things because you have to go through all this rigmarole of like, oh, am I going to share this on Google or something annoying like that. Also, leaving a comment can be really fucking weird because even though you'll be, like, at the top, you can be at the bottom. They used to have, like, a highest rated comment, which I actually was okay with. Now they just kind of fucked that up, and it's not there anymore. But yeah, not only people having trouble commenting because of just stupid requirements, they don't even know they have content to comment on. And yeah, no, oh my god, when you said that, I wanted to, like, stand up and be like, hey, man, why does YouTube keep thinking I want to watch stuff from BuzzFeed? I fucking hate BuzzFeed. I hate them now. I hated them before because of reasons that are probably obvious. Everyone hates them. And I'm, like, not interested. They have this little thing where you can, like, click and say not interested, and then a week later they're like, want to see BuzzFeed? I haven't even watched a Good Mythical Morning video, and I fucking hate them because they're on my, you would like this, give it. I'm like, and then when I go, actually, I've done this, like, I've gone to, Garrett's channel, and I'll look, and it'll be like, we recommend you watch this, instead of what he just uploaded. It says, we recommend you watch this, and I'm like, this is from fucking 3 months ago. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is up at the top, and then I'll click on videos, and it'll be like, he uploaded something, like, 24 hours ago. Like, what the fuck, YouTube? Seriously? So, that's another thing. And that's another thing about, like, if you're supporting someone, I know it's extra work, but go in there, actually let them know that you are watching them. Like, because with Paul's videos, I love Paul's videos. I'm watching his XCOM Let's Play still. I mean, I know I should have finished it by now, but I want to leave a comment on every fucking video, so I try and look for days that I can actually sit down and be like, I'm gonna look for something weird to happen in this video, and then I'm gonna point it out to Paul. But I actually, like, because of YouTube setup, I actually have to go in and find his fucking newest video of that, so. Sadly,
because of, I think, poor changes by YouTube, I used to spend most of my time when I'd watch video on YouTube. Now it's very little. I mean, the people, like Jeff Major, he's always on Twitch anymore. So usually if I am on YouTube watching someone, I'm watching Gamerpixie, maybe in general, and that's about it. Hardly anyone I used to watch put stuff up anymore on YouTube.
It's true. Well, like, that's the thing. I watch you while you're sleeping. Ooh, I know. I like those, I like that teddy bear you're cuddling with. And I watch Garrett, and then I watch RPG Chick, and honestly, that's about it, too. Like, and it's kind of sad, because I do watch a lot of people on YouTube, like, other channels, different things. Like, I watch a lot of cooking channels, because I love that. I love falling asleep to some woman who's like, and this is how you fry this here chicken. I love it. It's like a comfort for me. Even then, they'll have a recipe they did, like, yesterday, and then YouTube's like, oh yeah, you want to watch this from, like, a year ago? I'm like, okay. But I feel like I could see our time. We're kind of not running out of time, but we're getting close to there. So,
well, then what about you? Have you had any point where you felt like quitting?
Yes, I did. My reasons were like, oh my god, my video quality is so bad. I have a horrible voice. I hate my voice so much.
I like your voice. It's a good voice.
I know. Now I'm learning to love it because, it's my voice. I can't change it, and it has a different... I can reach different octaves, and I'm appreciating it. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. I have bad humor, I'm not funny, lack of motivation, I just don't want to make this, self-hate, a lot of self-hate, and just discouraged by stuff that I kind of just named there, because I know when YouTube changed, I talked to Paul about it. I was like, I kind of don't want to do this anymore, because I don't even know if the people who watched me before are watching, so there's definitely discouragedness there. And these are things that are listed from once I first begun to present day. And I know the question asks, like, at what time, or is there, like, any specific time? I think he said that, but if he didn't...
Well, he said, have you ever at any point felt like quitting for any reason? So...
Oh. Well, I was... It's kind of funny. I'm not going to say YouTube kept me alive, and this is a very intense story, but I'm going to tell it in a very chill way. I was playing Amnesia, and I got halfway through, or Amnesia: The Dark Descent, just to clarify, and that was when I didn't really know what meds I needed for my illness, so I stopped taking my meds, and it was about 5 days after, I just went cold turkey, and I was playing Amnesia, and something scared me, and I just fell over and started crying, and was like, oh my god, I hate my life, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, I'm gonna kill myself tomorrow. And I know that's very intense for the podcast, but just hear it out. It's kind of a funny story, because of the ending. But I was like, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do it. And I had a plan. You know, I had everything. Like, this was nightmare, crazy, scariest. Not the scariest, but one of the scariest parts of my... something I had to deal with in my life. And then I woke up the next day, and of course I wasn't in as much as an emotional charge as I was the day before, because that's usually when people do it, is they got their emotions all riled up and stuff. I still felt very sluggish and depressed, and I was like, well, you know, I'll do this. And I got up. I was walking, kind of doing my own thing, knowing that I was going to end it at noon. It was about like 9 o'clock in the morning. And my mom had already gone somewhere. It was just me and my mom living together at that point, and she had gone somewhere. She was going to be out till 1. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I thought, oh my god, my mom's gone. I can totally record way more Amnesia and scream as loud as I want. And so I went and I recorded some Amnesia, and I was like, I'll do everything after I'm done. That's why when I can't really watch Amnesia now, because it's a little like, oh, it makes me sad. So that's why I don't revisit that when I'm done. But yeah, I recorded it, and I was like, okay, I'll do it afterwards. And then I thought, like, I was standing there in the doorway, and I was like, but if I end it all, there's gonna be no Gamerpixie, and I won't have finished Amnesia. And who knows all the stuff that I could have had fun playing, and what Let's Playing could have given to me, because I would have never played Outlast. Like, I would have never bought a new PC and bought Outlast and played it unless it was for Let's Playing. I'm serious. Half of what makes that fun is playing it and knowing people are going to be like, ah, with me, screaming. So I don't want to be like, oh, Let's Play saved my life. What? Because a lot of hard work and friends, right? Doctors, yeah. But Let's Playing did shift my emotions from, I want to fucking end this all, to, I know I'm going to feel bad for a little bit, but, you know, I'll get to play games, and people will comment, and I'll get to talk to them, and blah, 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 blah. So, here's Sappy ABC Movie of the Week.
Well, I'm glad you kept making things, and though it's... I can't compete with the power of that story. I've been really blessed with Let's Plays, too, is there's so many games I've never would have dreamed of, that I didn't even know existed, that I've got to play because of Let's Playing.
Seriously, and the crappy game of the month, I never knew I could be graced with such things as Deca Sports and 12 Dancing Princesses and all this crazy stuff. So I agree with you. Let's Playing really... I mean, if you're an adventurous Let's Player, you're going to be rewarded. I mean, you'll be punished, but it'll end with reward, too. So, how about we sign out? How does that sound?
That's a good note to go out on. Thanks for listening, everybody. And it was a great time spending time with you, Gamerpixie. I don't know if I worked the word time into that. You know, there's a great movie about time called Back to the Future.
Da, da, da. Marty, we have to go back in time before the podcast was recorded. Okay, we love you, folks. Bye.
Bye.